My name is Peter Cole, and I'm a re-recording mixer in Los Angeles. Way back, I was fortunate enough to get to work on the series Pee-wee's Playhouse. I did that for many, many years. That was fun. Did a season of a show called Northern Exposure, season of Max Headroom way back when, and it's been an interesting ride. I like doing different things. The last project that I was involved in was the series Futurama. Did all the re-recording for that. This is a group of people that I've got to work with that are very like-minded and no egos, and it's all about quality. So it's been really, really fulfilling to work on that project. It's a probably old school film workflow. Even though I'm doing television, everything's a pre-dub. I'll start with my dialogue, and that's where I use the NUGEN level plugins. So I'm sort of glancing at VisLM. I do my whole mix, get myself in the ballpark of the calm act, and then after that just move on to, if I have music elements, I actually do music next, and then I'll do backgrounds and Foley and then hard effects. Well, animation, at least this particular show, is delivered quite far in advance. So I was forced kicking and screaming into the calm act long before it was mandatory. I used to use the true peak of part of the LMB to get me to spec. There was nothing else out there that I could find at the time. So I've had my own studio, which I operate from my home for the past 15 years. I pride myself on quality, and so I work out. It's kind of strange working out of the house doing post-production, but it's a really conducive workflow for quality, because there's some days you just don't feel like working, you know? I just get up and go, or I got a surge of energy and go work through the night. And it just sort of happened that working at home, that series work and animation seem to be a good fit, because the projects usually are not fast-paced turnarounds. My workflow is that my clients aren't behind me, so I sit with them later on. So I'll send a mix off to them, so that first pass when I'm ready to print to them, I'll then run it through the VisLM, not real-time, but non-real-time, act to act, and get my settings. And if I need to make adjustments, at that point I can make adjustments and get myself right on the money. So typically what I'm shipping is exactly you know, minus 24, and you know exactly what they need. You know, I don't ride the rails, I do what I'm told. If you're mixing in a calibrated studio, as we all should, it's really just, you know, you start your mix and you get yourself in the ballpark, and then there's other times where you've got maybe a scene that's really dynamic and you just mix to what you hear, and it may be a bit much for the calm act, but you got to wait until you finish the whole act, because some acts are softer, some are louder, and then you can make adjustments at the end. Some people like certain meters for whatever reason, and you just relate to it. Just, you know, it's like listening to a pair of speakers, and I just found that the NUGEN meter I can customize and make it look any way that I need it to look, and it catches my eye. I don't have to stare at it, and it really gives me good feedback of what I'm looking for. Of all the plugins that I've used for metering, it's like an old school VU meter to me. I'm an old guy, and you know, 35 years doing post, and it's a magical thing, you know. It doesn't slow me down, you know. I'd say comparing to some of the other plugins is that NUGEN seems to really get broadcasting and know what's important. The whole calm act was such a scary thing to get into, and like, you know, what are we looking for and whatever, and I just found that once I found the right settings inside VisLM, it was set it and forget it and go for it. Even though we have an industry standard, we don't have an industry standard, meaning you need to look at what your delivery requirements are. While you might be fluent in what the calm act is, there seems to be plenty of variations on what the actual deliverables are. I just feel that from what I've seen of NUGEN, they get broadcasting. I don't know how big the company is. I feel like they're small, approachable, and they get it.